Okay, hi. This is me from the future of when I recorded this to give you a little breakdown of the things that I do in this video before I had to cut it short and not necessarily finish this drawing. Okay, so I started with some blocks that I made in Rhino, and I had like a surface with some control points. I show you how to make a new surface and do some control points if you want to just like add some topography if you didn't have it yet, and like move it around. Then what do I do? I put that on its own layer, and then I start Boolean unioning things. So because I just used closed things, I didn't make surfaces. Rhino will by default a lot of times make surfaces, but like over here, you know, the block, if you just make things out of blocks and like things that are already closed already, it makes it a lot easier. So I show you how to like cut open a door from the solid. I draw a hallway and I extrude it up, and then I cut that out. I make like a outline on that surface. I offset it, I put it in a little bit, I extrude that, I move that in, so I make like a literal hidden room inside of the, you can see it's there kind of, almost, because the mouse is in the way. I make a hidden space inside that block. Then I'm just turning on layers. Okay, I went to isometric view. I split the whole model. So I draw like a line that's not even just a straight line in my case, but I drew a line that like went up. It could be a straight line, whatever. So I made a surface, and then I did a Boolean split. So that kept it solid, where it cut the blocks of like what I made, and I was able to bring them up to make like an exploded axon. Like I made a copy of all this, so I didn't ruin that. And then I made a layer for like guidelines, like these vertical lines here that would be shown in like an exploded axon like that. I do some mesh offset stuff. I make a mistake the first time, which is which layer I make the 2D from, but mesh outline. Maybe I said mesh offset by accident. Mesh outline will take an outline of either mesh, like a 3D shape, or a group of 3D shapes, and then I bring it into a layout space, and I start just assigning layers and assigning line weights and the dashes. There was one thing that I had to do. I had to at one point select every line in the whole make 2D thing and go to the settings. I don't know exactly when I did it. I'm scrolling around, where I selected all the lines, and then in the settings I said, I could even show you in here, right? Oops. In the things, if I select these lines, then I can go in, and the line type and print width, I just put to by layer. Oops. So that was important because it wasn't showing up. Turn on the print preview, and then I'm just changing the line weights for like cuts, hidden lines. Like a lot of hidden lines you don't need, so I made another layer called hidden lines to keep, or hidden keep. So then I'm just turning hidden line on and off, and just being like, okay, I'll keep this one and move it over to this layer that the hidden line would be invisible. I don't know, I can't promise another tutorial here. This should help you get on the right track of just how to make layers and clean up your axons to be like a good line drawing. Hope that it helps you. Okay, how do I do this? Okay, so I only have a half hour before I gotta go pick up my wife from the bus station, and in that time I need to make this video and then edit it a tiny bit and then post it on YouTube and everything. So I'm gonna need to rush through this a little bit, but I think this is important for you to see. Okay, so I'm going to make an axon drawing with line weights that looks good in Rhino out of this, and it's gonna require just like some basic stuff first. I mean, in order to make this surface, I went to sub D tools here, and I made a surface there. It looked like that, and then I clicked this button, the subdivide, sub D, just a few times to get like that. Went back over to standard, and that turned on control points, and then I could click on these points and move them up and down in order to make some topography as a big surface or whatever. I already did that. Oh yeah, and if you hit tab, it switches between these two views, but I can delete that. There's different ways you can show topography in your drawings. You can show it this way. You can also make contours. I'm going to be making a lot of layers. I'm going to be moving things between layers. So contours, topo, activate that one, click this and type in contour. And before I start it, always read what it says here. Okay, so contour base point, it's just like the lowest point. It can be approximated, so I'll just click right here, it's below there. And then the direction perpendicular is just going to be up. I could turn on ortho and then just do that. Enter, or like I clicked, and then the distance between contours, I'll put to 2 or something. Okay, there we go. Now I made this model, I didn't even check how tall it was. I just like whipped it up. So in order to make a person, I don't know how big this is. I'm gonna just click here, I'm gonna type 6 feet, and then I'm gonna click enter to get out of there. So that is a 6 foot tall person. Good to know. You should have people in your axons and in your other drawings too. So these contours look fine enough, and I can put this as topo surface and move it, right click, change object layer, hide it. Now I'm gonna hide the contour layer, and let's make a new layer that's just like solid building. Maybe might do it this way. So I made a bunch of primitive geometries like this cube, like this thing, and helpful to just do this. You shouldn't be making walls in kind of any other way unless like they need to be at like weird angles or something. I don't know. This is easier to make walls with. Is like something like this, and then just bring it up like that. I'm going to combine everything, because if I did a axon, this isn't a line, that's not a line. There's no lines here actually. Luckily, I know that this can all be Boolean unioned together. You might have a little bit of like finagling to do, where like you just kind of select one thing at a time, be like, okay, do these Boolean union? Yes, they do. Okay, so now this is like one thing, but then what's this? Can that be Boolean unioned? Okay, whatever the last command you did in Rhino, if you click enter again, it thinks that you've just like want to repeat it. So I'm selecting all this, and I just want to make it one Boolean union. Some people, I said to split everything and like do like some exploded version. Before I do that, let me show you how to like cut a door into the solid. So if I make like a turn on mirror, click that over there, and then I'm making this like solid object. Say if I want to stretch it in any way, I can imagine doing a lot of scale 1D. So I'm clicking the origin, clicking there, and just stretching it a little bit, and then I can move it back this way, so it's like kind of cutting through or something. Maybe that's helpful. I'm going to Boolean subtract this from that. So Boolean, what is it? Boolean difference to subtract from is the big one, and then I have delete input on. You don't necessarily need to go and delete cutters on. Enter, and then this is the cutter. I click that and enter, and now I have a cutout of the door. I want to do it on the inside of this. I'm going to have this be kind of like a hallway. So I could say I do something like I'm making a curve here, but I want to make sure it's closed, and I want to make sure it's planar. Okay, so that's a planar curve. I'm going to move it up to the height that I want it to start at, like there. By the way, this button here, lifesaver. Okay, and let me move it just a tiny bit up like that. I guess it's like a little step up. And then extrude curve and turn on solid if you didn't, and that's all fine. I can delete the input because I don't need it, and let's just kind of go that high with it. And now I'm going to do a Boolean difference. Boolean difference, subtracting from this, and enter. I'm using that to subtract from it and enter. So now I got a hallway in that spot. Let's say I make a hidden room that's in this block right here or something. I can, make a. I need to. Say I could get that to snap to that. Oops. Okay, wait. Rectangle. Let's do a 3-point rectangle. So, because it's on this other plane. So there it is. Maybe I go offset curve on surface. So that's the surface. Okay. And then the distance is 1. Okay, cool. Then delete that. So now I have this, and say if I want to, click this curve point, hold shift, click that curve point, bring it down a bit, click and drag, take these two, take this whole thing, maybe move it up a little bit. So it's here, let me just change that to there. Let's see me from the other side. Okay. Let's move this just this way a bit. Okay, and extrude curve. Take this, enter, and I'm going this way. Okay. Now I got that extrusion. Let me kind of go under the ground a bit. Does this intersect just a tiny bit? Maybe I like that about it. And let me just do another difference, Boolean difference. And then after this, I'm going to say that the design is finished. So that's my hidden room down there. It's inside here. If I go to ghosted, you can kind of see the inside of it, or technical, you can see the inside of it a little bit. Maybe I need to show that in the axon. Okay, do I only have 5 minutes? Something like that. Okay, everything is one thing. The topo surface, the contours, those are there. Okay. You should show the path up to it in your thing. But maybe you end up drawing that manually. I'm gonna go set view, isometric, maybe not that angle, set view, isometric northwest, set view, which way? That's a fun one, but that's not the one that, you can just rotate it around. As soon as you do one isometric, these are all isometric. The one other thing I wanted to do was to split this whole thing, right? So let's make a cutting plane, and say because this is on a hill, maybe I want to cut lower here and go up. So if I make this a wireframe again, or turn off all these snaps, because I don't want to accidentally snap to this and be like going back and forth like that. So click here and there, and then going up and like that. Maybe I want to split this into pieces, or in a few pieces. I'll just do it this way for now. I'll do it a bit lower, just higher than that, around there. Maybe I want this to be this way. I want it to just be above the path that is kind of apparent. I would say I have like a, take this, extrude curve, and if I want to click both sides just to get it like that, and I can just use this to split the mass. And the way to do that is, if this is a solid, oh, I need to hide that one. If this is a solid, then it's split Boolean, or Boolean split. And then the cutting surface is this, and I can click enter, and now I can hide the cutting plane, and this can now come up as a solid. This can be a solid. This can be a solid. So say if you want to do an exploded axon, that's a way you can do it. So say I show it like this. Maybe this piece here could become 2 pieces. So I can add a plane here. Let me enable snapping. Click, 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 and click. So now I have that surface. Oops. And then if I just scale it, then I can get it to cross through everything. Okay. So then Boolean split this. Boolean split by that. Enter. Okay. I don't need that anymore. And now that's its own. Maybe I put this back down where I want it. So if I have to type in move in order to bring that down and snap it to it. Okay. Say that goes up like that, and do I want it like? I guess that looks good. If this is going to be my axon view, I can always set view, named views, make a new one, say axon. Okay, there it is. And I should show the topo surface intersecting with this mass. So let's see, intersect that and that, enter. Cool, so now I have this like line here that goes around like that. That wasn't there before, like that one. Make another layer for like guidelines, and this can be, if you're doing an exploded axon, like clicking that down to there, that down to there, this down to that. Kind of like the fewer the better, where you don't want too many, and the more you have, the kind of lighter they need to be. This is not snapping right. Hold shift, disable that. Oops. There we go. Okay. Alright, so say those are my guidelines. I want those to be dashed like that. See? Look at that. Okay. I think I'm ready for a make 2D. Okay, so select everything and make 2D. I'll leave tangent edges off. I'll turn on hidden lines, turn on scene silhouette. Depends on like the maintain source layers. It depends. Like it might be too many layers for you to keep track of, and it'll be more confusing. So I could do by output layers or from input objects. You can play around, before you commit to any one of them. I'm gonna click OK, and then I got this now in the top view. I can move it like far enough away here. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of things to trim, especially like the hidden lines, because we don't need to see every hidden line. Back over here, say like this and that together. This didn't have a scene silhouette because it was doing this surface too, so I can do a mesh outline. And now this is in 3D space where the camera is, but I can do another make 2D of this, and if I didn't move this, I would click register with previous or whatever, but click OK, and now this, I can move it to, it doesn't seem perfectly matching. No, it definitely isn't. Let's see. Should I do this? Try this again. Mesh. Outline. And then make 2D. Oh, it's because I had this selected when I did the make 2D. Yeah, the make 2D is like whatever viewport is selected last is like highlighted like this. So click this, put that there. What layer is this on? I can check here. Layer is on curves, but I'm gonna put it to a new layer called profile, and right click, change object layer. Okay, so I'm gonna go with this as my drawing. Say I make a new layout, and then I make this into an arcd that has multiple views in it, and click OK. If I double click into any one of these, it's what I can set. An axon doesn't need to be at any scale like this. Like for what we're doing, you don't have to worry about the axon being to scale. Just get it to fit whatever the thing is. I'm just gonna, just for this example, like if you want to do arcd and have multiple things on the page, this is how you do it, but I'm going to show you as an 11 by 17, oops, delete this, show you as one thing, new layout. Okay, click one on 11 by 17. Make sure that this outline of your viewport is on a layer. So what layer is it on? It's on the guidelines layer by accident. Okay, so I'm going to just put it on default layer, change object layer. Okay, that way if I hide guidelines, you know, it's not going to hide this whole drawing. Okay, so clicking into it, going out here. Okay, this is going to be my axon. I could even zoom in a little bit more because it's not about the ground here. Click this, print preview, okay? Click into it. A lot of these curves I don't need. I can like start to delete them. I mean, because they were just like manufactured, or like they don't actually represent anything other than like how I was modeling it. So it doesn't make sense for these to be there. The other curves make more sense. Though they would probably continue in the background, but whatever. Okay. Why was that like that? Interesting. Is that grouped? Ungroup? Ah. So it groups like if a line becomes hidden. Okay, I'm going to ungroup a lot of this. That's one group. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I'm going to just select everything and ungroup it. Ungroup. Okay. Back in the top view, I can make it so that, like, say, the hidden lines, or like, you know, what are the main lines? There's cuts. There are cuts here, so I'm gonna keep those darker. So those would be under visible. Let's say cuts. Put that there. The print width on the cut, I'm gonna, you know, have it super thick. If you're doing like a 36 by 36, maybe it makes sense to be 4. It's 6 o'clock. Ooh, okay. And say I want this to be like red. I can make the color red here, but not in the print space. Like if I want the hidden lines to be like green, that's fine, but keep them black keep all your lines black probably. Maybe I make another visible layer that's circulation, and that's, maybe that stays as red or something, but make it something like that and have it thick like this. I'm not able to do a full tutorial here. Okay, but I'm selecting these layers, and I'm going to say, like, okay, these are going to be on the cut. So then I change object layer there. And okay, let me just check. This is on the cut layer. Display color. Print preview. Where are the lineweights? Oops, sorry. Okay, I figured something out that I'm not used to seeing, but I'm going to just select everything and then make sure that the print width is by layer. Okay, and that the print color, you can actually set it all here as black. The line type by layer. Okay, so then now it's showing up the way that I want, and the cut is extra dark. I can keep going through here and selecting these because these are what's being cut, and changing them to the cuts layer. Double click to get out, and then that's my, I'm getting an update. If I zoom out just enough, I can go to here, click locked, click in that. Let's click the outside profile of everything like this. And put this on the scene silhouette. Change that. So now this gets that. This line here could also go to that layer because there's like a gap here. Same with like this line, that line, all the scene silhouette. Maybe it ends up being a little bit less drastic, and maybe prominent corners ends up being like a 0.5, where like that these like that those are all prominent corners. So change that object layer, and now this is reading a bit better. Not everything needs a hidden line, so like I don't think I necessarily needed to see that or this. Oh, it looks like these should be some prominent corners. Change that. And it's like, can you delete most of these and have it work out? You can turn off the hidden lines so it's like starts to clean up. Certain things like this should be trimmed based off like the this was the ground, right? So let's have that selected and then trim based off that. Click that. Oh, so it trimmed all the way around. Let's fix that. It's like this too. Something locked. Oh, it's still in trim mode. Okay. Select that. Select this. Then trim. And then select that. Okay, so looks like, should that have continued around? No, it's fine. maybe I'm gonna connect some of the dots here. You know, this is kind of like a profile. This, like that line, this line, these are all profiles to change object layer. Is this, oh, this is a different, so scene silhouette is maybe what I wanted to change it to. Yeah, like that, scene silhouette. Okay, so see things working out. This is where I cut this, but then I put it back, so I'm going to just like delete these lines. I don't need to see that. This is the silhouette of something, but I can trim based off this. Okay, cool. And then this probably wants to trim. Oh no, this is a hidden layer. Oh, okay, this makes sense. Okay, that and that, trim that. Okay, so cleaning it up. This should be like on a person layer. That should be shaped as a person. Put them on that path or something. You can trim that, select that, trim these. You know, I don't need to see through it. Like that column, okay. Certain hidden lines make sense. So it's like you could make a separate hidden keep, and then turn this on sparingly. Maybe this dots. Where are all these? Oh, okay. This should be dots. Okay. So, which ones do I want to keep? I want to keep that. I'm going to keep that, and put that to hidden keep, and put this to hidden like that, with like a thin line. This could be even thinner. Hairline. Okay, these are like important, prominent profiles, whatever. It's just a matter of cleaning this up. I'd like to do another one of these where I just keep going and I finish this. But for now, this is all I could do because I'm late for picking up my wife from the bus stop. Okay, bye.